Uh, can you please come sit over here in the front? Thank you. Okay, so you guys just came this morning. You don't have badges, and I can see Zoe doesn't have one too. So we have them in the house, but I will give you that later on when I register you. So can you please tell the class, so what's your name? Can you introduce yourself? Bojana. Huh? Bojana. Okay? Veronica, yeah. So you're welcome. And we have also someone new. What's your name? Can you? Imisi, yeah? So you get to see, you get to meet everyone. Okay, Imisi? Yes. Everybody has his badges, so you can see their names there. Okay, so we are going to continue with our discussion that we started yesterday. But before that, I want to make a small announcement. For those that came this morning, we have discipline here in the training. The discipline is when you do something that is not right, or when you break those rules, you get dots on your badges. And when you have 3 red dots, then you will be disciplined seriously. So which means no coming late. That is why we gave you your schedules. Yeah, you know what time to eat, to pray, and all that, so you don't come late. Okay? And yeah, I think that's that. So you don't speak during teaching. When you want to speak, you raise your hand and you speak, okay? And when you want to go out as well, you have to take permission. When you want to go upstairs to take something, you come to me, you take permission. Whatever you do, you don't just move around as you want, except you're on a break or when you're eating. But once the training is going on, you have to strictly obey the rules so you don't get all the dirt and you get seriously punished. And also, for you that came this morning, we're going to be reading books. Your dad is gone, yeah? Yeah. You will need money to buy books. You have some money with you? Oh, that's good, yeah. Okay, that's that. So before I start, I want to ask, how is the reading going so far? You guys started reading last night. How is it going? You like the book? Yes. Yeah. Daniel, what about you? How is it going for you? It's okay. Okay. What about you, Pearl? Mostly everybody is using hard copies, I think. But the most important thing that we're reading. Yeah, so if you have it electronic or hard copy, it doesn't really mean anything. It's for you to make sure you have one. So you're reading. 2 of you, you're reading. Okay, everybody's reading. That's great news. So let's get started. So who can please catch up with the class where we stopped yesterday? Actually, what was even the topic? What were we discussing yesterday? Yep, my section that we started before the live show. Yes. How to find yourself. Great. Yeah? So we were able to start that discussion, and everybody was able to say his opinion, what he feels, or what he understood what that statement meant, yeah? And we were able to write down our passions. By the way, were you able to write down your passions so far? Yeah. That's cool. So I wasn't around during the live show, but I was told that you guys, Pastor asked you also something like that during the show, and you were able to answer, right? Yeah. Oh. So it made it easy that we talked about it. Yeah? Okay. So for you guys, am I speaking too fast, or do you understand? It's okay. When you don't understand, you can always stop me to ask, okay? Yeah, you feel free. Okay, so moving on. So the first point I gave you is, who can tell me? The first point I gave, yeah. That's the topic, actually, how to be yourself. Yeah. So what was the first point? Find out who you are. Girls, Veronica, do you guys have anything to write? No, not yet. What about your phones, smartphones? Yeah, please, go take so you write down. Because I don't want to ask the same questions. So I'm going to repeat the topic once again for you guys that were not here last night. The topic is how to find yourself. Okay? How to find yourself. Imisi, do you have that? The topic is how to find yourself, yeah? And the first topic, the first point I gave is what? Huh? Okay, that was some of the topic that I gave. The first thing I said is you have to accept yourself. Yeah? Accept yourself for who you are. Just the way you are. Yeah? Above any other thing. You have to just accept the way you are. Because there is a reason why God made you the way you are. Why he chose for you to be black. Yeah? There is a reason why you're not European. There is a reason why you're tall, you're short, you're whatever you are. It's all part of God's plan. Yeah? So you have to accept who you are. And why do you have to accept who you are? Guys, why do you have to accept who you are? Hold on. As I've said, we don't talk during the class without the mic so they could hear you. Okay.
So like, then you'll be able to have, you'll be able to find out who you are. So, and when you find out who you are, you'll be able to find out what you're good at, and it'll help you when you want to find out like how or like what you want to do in life when you have it.
Okay, so find out who you are. Okay, good point. So who can tell me how can I, let's say I don't know who am I, right? How can I find out who am I? How can I do that?
Get to know yourself, like what you're like, what things you enjoy, and just like understanding yourself as a person, like how we did that exercise, we had to do like 10 things in 5 seconds. And like just figuring out who you are as your own person.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Sadie, you wanted to say something?
You could try to discover yourself. You could try find out what your passions are, because your passions could lead you to what God has wanted you to be in life.
Okay, great point. Anyone else want to share? I really love her point. You have to find out your passion. So let's say I know my passion. Then what? What am I supposed to do with my passion? Any ideas on what to do with my passion? Yes, Pearl?
Work on it so that you can become better at it, and so that your life can, so that you can use your life to become better at it, and that it can eventually become something bigger than just a hobby or something.
Okay. Well.
So set goals according to your passion.
Okay, set goals. Okay, I don't want us to deviate from the way we started yesterday, right? We started with accept yourself above other things, make peace with who you are so that you can start showing yourself to the world. Remember what I said about pain? Yeah? Okay, so your pain is what makes you different, what makes you special, what makes you unique, which I said, if you find out what your pain is, what are you supposed to do with that?
You're meant to find a solution to that. You're meant to find a solution to that pain or problem that you specifically like.
I didn't get that?
You have to come up with a solution to that pain or problem that you
By
have.
how do you go? How do you do that?
Researching. And
Okay,
finding.
cool. Cool. Yeah, you make research about your pain, because that is one way you could, put yourself out there. You could show yourself to the world. You could tell the world, hello, I'm Babu, and this is my pain, and this is what I see as a problem, and this is what I want to solve, right? So remember, guys, we have problems everywhere. And this is one of the reasons why we are all here. God put pains in our hearts so we could solve those problems. It's not like he could not do it, but he decides, I made you so beautiful. I made you, in this way, and I want you to be the one to solve this problem. So why not? Yeah? Is that point clear? Okay, moving on. The next one is, as we all know, you are not perfect. No one is perfect. You know, right? We are all trying and striving to learn more every day. Yeah? But then that takes us to the next point, that is, you have to tell yourself the truth. And what this truth could be. I know I'm going to try to explain it as simple as possible, not to make it too complicated, yeah? So, let's say, there is something, as I've said again, we are not perfect, yeah? There are some things we need to prove. We need to learn skills, right? But we tend to be lazy about it because you're feeling, I'm okay without that. I'm okay without not learning another language. I'm okay without not working on myself. I'm not okay without not improving on myself. And then, because you have not worked on yourself, you cannot be your best self. You cannot help the world. You cannot solve problems. Are you guys communicating with what I'm saying? Or it's too much? Yeah, I'm trying to simplify it. Imisi, Sadie, Sydney, are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to tell yourself the truth. Yeah? And what is this truth? The truth is that I know my pain. You know your pain. Yeah? But I cannot help to solve that problem if I don't prove on myself. There are some things that I have to work on myself to help me become better so I could help other people that have the same problem. Am I communicating? I'll repeat that. Let's talk about what example did I give yesterday? I gave example the pain, war, right? And poverty. Yes? So, the truth is that I know that there is a problem with poverty. Yeah? I need to tell myself the truth that this is a problem. There is a problem. We have a poverty problem. And I want to solve this problem. But I just don't have the skills to solve this problem. So what am I supposed to do? Guys, can someone help me out? What am I supposed to do? If I know I have a pain and I want to help out to solve the problem, but I don't have all the skills or all the understanding to solve that problem, what am I supposed to do?
You should try solve that problem that is your pain.
Okay. But what if I don't have enough skills or understanding about that problem? What am I supposed to do?
Do research.
Do research. Good. You have another point? Yeah, can you? Do research. Please be writing down what we're saying, yeah?
Develop more on your skills and
Perfect.
find other skills, and also she said,
On that
research.
area,
Yes.
not just any kind of skills.
No, the area that you're passionate about and you're having pain for.
Perfect. Perfect. So you have to develop skills. You have to find out how you can be the best person in that area. So by the time you go out there and you're like, hello, world, I want to solve this problem, you won't just be okay, what is she talking about? By the time you work on yourself, you learn more skills, you have more understanding, and you go out there and you're speaking, everybody will be like, wow, who is she? I want to hear what's going on. Where is she from? Yeah? Because you're going to have so much to tell the world. Is that understood? Yes. So always remember, you are not perfect. But that doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't mean you cannot solve any problem. That doesn't mean you're not the best. Yeah, you cannot become the best. That doesn't mean you're not unique. It just means that you have to work on yourself in that area that you think you're not perfect. Is that understood? Okay, moving on. Next will be you have to stop judging. You have to stop judging yourself, or you have to stop judging other people. That is very, very, very serious point. Yeah? We all know what is called the benefit of doubt? Yeah. Girls? Yes. We know what is called the benefit of doubt, yeah? Okay. So you have to do your best to stop judging people. It's easy when you see someone, from afar, you're like, oh, she's this. Oh, why is she too? Oh, she's talking. It's easy. But there is always more to that, yeah? Which means you should always try to calm down, try to get to know the person, or try to at least give the person benefit of doubt. Which means if she is too, what should I say? If she's rude, maybe there's a reason why she's rude. People don't just wake up and decide, oh, I want to be rude. Yeah? There's a reason. Maybe she's just going through something at that period, yeah? Or maybe somebody makes her sad, or I don't know. Something is going on. That's why she's rude at that point in time. Or maybe she had a very difficult life, yeah? That makes her to become that way. So it's really not cool. Try to like, oh, she's this, she's that, it's because when you do that, it stops you from getting to know people better. I'm telling you, you will be amazed on what you can learn from people. You know why? Because we're all different. I can learn different things from each of you. Right now, I can even tell you a few things that I know I like about you that I would like to add to my life. It's easy. I do that all the time. I need most of the people that I meet, and I know at least, let me say, that I have relationship with, I learn something from them and I add to myself. Yeah? So it's always good to have relationship or try to get people to learn from people. At least the best things about people, not just anything. Is that understood? No? Yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Am I communicating? Okay, any questions so far? No question. Yeah, you want to have some? No? No one have? We're cool? Daniel, are we fine? I'm going to ask questions later. If you don't ask me, I will ask you. Okay, moving on. The next one, my favorite, is love yourself. Love yourself. Actually, they work together with the first point that says accept yourself. Because if you love yourself, you will accept yourself. It's easy. Yeah? It's easy, but it's hard to kind of, apply it sometimes. I've met people that don't love themselves. Like, oh, I don't like my hair. I don't like my nose. I don't like this about me. I want to change this, So it's kind of an issue. But as I said earlier on, you have to accept yourself for who you are. So if you accept yourself, then it's easy for you to love yourself. Yeah? And I love the... Can you help? Yeah, please. Thank you. I love the part in the Bible that is written, love yourself as your neighbor. Yeah? We all know that part in the Bible? Yeah. So, for you to love another person, you have to love yourself. Can you imagine that? Because you cannot give what you don't have. It's very simple. So, let's do another small exercise. Everybody has to contribute on how can I love myself? How can I love myself? Or how can I know, or how can I know that I love myself? How? Yes, everybody's going to contribute, so, yeah.
If you tried your best at something and then you're proud of yourself because of that.
proud of yourself?
For trying your best.
Okay, for trying your best.
If you aren't very, if your opinion of yourself doesn't change depending on what people say, like if you are fine with yourself and then somebody tells you that actually you're not fine, but you didn't do anything wrong and you believe that, then you won't let what that person said get to you because you love yourself and you haven't done anything wrong. So you have a normal self-esteem.
So the thing is that is you are sure of who you are, no matter what any other person says.
Yes.
Okay.
You can love yourself by maybe developing, like they said, and you can develop in your passion and make yourself proud and enjoy it and not care about what other people think about what you're doing.
Okay. So your passion should make you happy, yeah? And because you're happy, you love yourself. Okay.
You can love yourself by doing things, by teaching yourself things that will help you in life, that will help you discover yourself.
Awesome. Okay.
You can love yourself by doing the right things that you know is right. If somebody else is doing the wrong thing, then you don't do it.
Cool. Awesome. Yes, next. Okay. You need time.
Yes.
Okay. Next, can you please pass? Yes. Let me fix.
One way you could love yourself is being confident and having courage within yourself, because if you're confident, you know that no matter what anybody says to you or about you, you know truly, you know yourself more than anybody else does. So whatever they say behind your back or in front of you, you know that's not true, and they're just talking rubbish. So it's important that you have confidence within yourself and you're courageous about that confidence.
Okay. Okay. So you become courageous because of the confidence you have in yourself. Okay. Thank you. Next. Adele. You're next. If you want it, if you're not ready, then you could pass it to the next.
One way I was thinking is, because I've heard people do this. I don't personally do this, but I mean, it's a good idea. Basically, you know how when you're dressing up and you see yourself in the mirror, you can just be like, you know what, I'm looking good today. You know what? Yes. So it's just the way that because the more you say it, the more you're gonna believe it. So then, if you tell yourself that before anyone else has time to put negative thoughts in your head, or you're walking past and you see people staring and you think something's wrong, you'll know that, oh wait, hold on, actually there's nothing wrong with me. So it will just help boost your confidence and you'll be able to love yourself.
So yours is more like affirmation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really like that point. It's really strong, actually. It's always good to talk to yourself, not like just crazy talk, but the good talk, yeah? Because when you do that, it's in the process of you telling yourself the truth. You tell yourself what you want to hear mostly, and it makes you to become, it becomes flesh. The word becomes flesh. So it's not in your head like, oh, I'm beautiful. It's more like, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Oh, yes, I'm beautiful. Like, I don't wait for anybody to tell me that. So the more you say, the more it becomes real, which is really cool. Okay, thank you. Next.
I think how you could is like taking care of yourself and your body in terms of like health. So like eating the right things, making sure that you're hydrated all the time, exercising if you can, and just like being active and stuff can make you feel better in yourself. And also kind of adding to that is dressing according to how your body works, because I think most of the time people try and force themselves to dress in a way that fits someone else's like body type or their shape or something, that and when they don't look the same way, it makes them feel less confident. So I think understanding what your body's like and dressing in a way that suits your body can
Yes.
like make you feel more confident about
Awesome,
yourself.
awesome, excellent, excellent. Yeah, eating the right food, definitely. And that is the reason, one reason why we're doing the morning exercise with you guys, yeah? Because you need to, work on your body. Your body is you. You cannot separate your body, yeah? So if you don't eat right and you fall sick all the time, then there is no how you could live your passion or love yourself or, do anything you want. So for you to be your best self, you have to be in a good health. You have to have a good health, yeah? And it doesn't just happen by chance. You have to try, which is one of them is drinking water every day. Minimum what? For you guys should be 1 liter? Huh? 2 liters, yeah. But that's for adults. For you guys, yeah, you take 2. I take 2, sometimes even more. Yeah, but for the younger ones, I think 1 liter minimum a day is good. Yeah. Yeah, because our body is what? 70%. 70% of our body, yeah, is water. So you really need to take water. It keeps your skin, fresh, your hair, nails, everything. So when you don't drink that, then you could start having problems from there. Yeah? And so, and other food as well. And exercise and all that. Okay? So which means at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself. Definitely. Okay? Next.
Oh, when a person remembers that not everybody is perfect, like little flaws will not bother him or her.
Okay, I'm trying to relate that to you loving yourself. So if you're not perfect, but can you help me?
No,
You remember what we're talking about? How can I know that I love myself? Like, how can I know that? So if you're talking about perfection, how can I put that together?
Maybe some people don't feel confident because they don't like their hair or another little issue on their body. But if they remember that not everybody in the world is perfect, like no one is perfect, everybody is striving for perfection,
Okay.
then it won't bother them as much and they could be more confident.
So you just accept yourself the way you are, right? Instead of trying to stress yourself on what you're not. Okay, girls, are you? Yes, yes.
I also think another thing is to look at yourself in terms of what the Bible says as well. So like that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, for example.
Yes, I was going for that.
That can like reassure you that like, okay, so, and that you're made in God's image and likeness. It can reassure you that, okay, even if I don't like look a certain way, there's a reason that I'm looking the way I am. So it's not like I can do anything about it. I might as well just go and live my life.
Awesome. Yes, you want to add something?
You don't always feel like that.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, my thing is that obviously we hear that all the time. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. But my thing is that sometimes you're hearing it, but it's not really sinking in. It doesn't really help sometimes. Like for me, like the amount of times I've heard that, and I've still had low self-esteem about myself, because I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, the amount of times that I've heard that, it goes in. I mean, I listen to it and I hear it and I know that it's there, but it doesn't really sink in. So I don't think it always, like, you can refer to the Bible and if it helps you, then it helps you. But for some people, it's not always going to be. It's not. Sometimes it's not really enough to hear it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not gonna be able to actually.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. First, I would like to say, do you clearly understand what that means? We could go to the Bible now and check other translation. Yes. Yeah. You probably want to say something? Can you please?
I think that Abiola's pretty right, but also that Ade's suggestion is also still really good, because fearfully and wonderfully made, yeah, I think that's a very beautifully said passage, but the only problem with it is that people just take those 3 words and then they're like, it's like a book of its own. Like they never quote the whole verse, they never quote the whole chapter. It's just,
So can we
hey, you're
open it,
faithfully and wonderfully made. And
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
Wait,
Daniel
wait,
wants
wait.
to
I'm
say
not
something.
done.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done. But like, still, the Bible says other things too. And like, when sometimes I can just open the Bible and there can be something really encouraging there. All throughout the Bible, God speaks to his people, and it's in really different situations, from the Old Testament, which was long ago, and to the New Testament, which was even a different time. But still, he says the same thing, that even though you're imperfect, even though I'm a holy God and you're sinful, and that your sin actually should cause you to die, I love you so much, and nothing can ever break my love for you. So if you think that, okay, even if you did something wrong, for example, that doesn't mean that you should hate yourself, because everybody makes mistakes. That doesn't stop God from loving you. So I think it's still great to look at yourself in the terms of what the Bible says.
Okay. Daniel wants to say something. Yeah.
I think that maybe it's,
Guys.
I think that maybe it's the phrase fearfully and wonderfully made. Maybe we don't understand it. But
Exactly.
if we don't understand it and we don't see the full concept, maybe we can also remember the other phrase in Genesis that we're made in the image and likeness of God.
Oh, that's a good one. We're made in the image of God, right? And the likeness of God. Awesome. I love that. Yes. Do you have more contributions?
I was going to read the scripture.
Yeah, please do. Yes.
In the New Living Translation, instead of saying fearfully and wonderfully made, it says, thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. So it's like understanding that every little thing about you was made for a reason.
Oh my goodness, that is
And
awesome.
Yeah.
Are you getting that, Abiola?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Everything. We all know that we are not perfect, but we know God is perfect. Yeah? So why do you think he'll make you and miss something out? He needed to give you the big head. You needed to have it. That is, that is the plan. You needed to have the long hair. That was the plan. Your hair was supposed to be the afro one. That was the plan. You were supposed to be black. That was the plan. You were supposed to be tall. That was the plan. Why? Because he is perfect. And you really, really need to get that sink into you. Like, he is perfect. He said, I also like this verse that says, he knew thee even before you were formed. Could you imagine? Whenever I think about that verse, I cannot affirm it. Like, it's too much. You knew me even before, like, what? You, like, the beginning, like, what? Before I was even little 3 months, he knew. And he knew when I would be 50 years old. He knew when I would be 20, like, how is that even possible? It's too much, really. So if he knew that you are going to be here right now, you should know that this is not by chance you're here. You know why? Because so many people registered, and something happened, and they are not here. But you are here. You know why? Because every minute and every day of your life has been planned by God. Every minute. He wanted you to be here right now. He wanted Zoe to be sitting close to Esther. That was the plan. But we don't think about that. We just wake up and we just, you're just like robots. We just, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you do that. But to us, it's just like, oh, I'm just living. But to him, it was in his plan. It's in his plan.
I just wanted to say, I think Pearl said that sometimes verses are taken like out of context.
Yeah.
And like reading the whole thing can help, because in
Yes.
the verse after that,
Yes.
in the Message translation of the Bible, it says, you know me inside and out, you know every bone in my body, you know exactly how I was made, bit by bit, how I was sculpted from nothing into something. So I think just understanding, like, I think that's why different versions of the Bible help you understand what it's actually saying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think because we hear the same translation over and over, so we just hear it as like, oh yeah, that's just the same thing. But
yeah, so guys, this should be a new lesson for you guys, right? Don't read the Bible and just use one translation. Today we have so many of them. I can't even count. I've lost count. Yeah? So just try minimum 3 different translation and try to get a bigger understanding. So Abiola, is it different for you now? Do you, yeah? Yeah. So if God said, like if God himself, the perfect God, wow, can you imagine? Perfect God, awesome God, mighty God, tells you that I made you. What was that again? Can you please read that verse again? The beginning.
Oh, okay. Let me get it. It says, "Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex."
Okay. And then a part of the complex, he said something.
Oh yeah. You know me inside and out. You know every bone in my body. You know exactly how I was made bit by bit. How I was sculptured from nothing into something.
What else can I say? It's just perfect. He wanted you to be just exactly the way you are. So that takes me to my first point that says, accept yourself just the way you are. So are we clear now, Viola? Yeah. So, but you know what? The truth is that you are not going to feel that all the time. I'm just going to be real with you guys. You are not going to feel you love yourself all the time. There will be moments where you say, oh, I hate myself. There are sometimes you say, how can I be, what was I thinking doing that? It's normal, it's okay. But our concentration is for you to love yourself. And you have to know, not because somebody told you, I love you, no. Because God himself, the perfect God, said, I know you, the details, just the way you are. You're perfect for me, for him. You did it for, for him. Yeah? Okay. Going to the next question. Now we know that how we love ourselves, yeah? We're sure that we love ourselves. Is that clear, girls? By the way, you've not said your point. Yes, I haven't forgotten. Can you please, can someone help them? Don't worry. You could say it in your own words. No problem.
Okay. First of all, we should don't forget about that God loves us as well as I am.
Yes.
And how you said that it's difficult for me.
No, if you have a difficult word to say, you can say it in Russian. She will translate that. Yeah.
Ah, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
And we should, every morning when we stood up, we should look at the mirror and we said, I'm good, I'm perfect, because God loved me as well as I am.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
So for you, it's like Abiola, right? Words of affirmation.
Yes.
You have to say it out. Yeah, it helps. Okay, thank you. Next.
Sorry, I feel a little bit uncomfortable because I don't know English really well.
Okay.
But sorry. I think that we can try to be perfect. It is, sorry. I don't know name, but you said that we should eat healthy food and try to work out, and also I think that we can try to read books and learn something new. That's why it is really very good.
Okay, it's very important, right?
Yes, it's very important to try to become better person for yourself, to yourself and for other people. And you should know that God loves you, and that's why you should love yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You should know God loves you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. So, we've talked about pain. Yeah? We talked about we loving ourselves. Yes? So, how can me knowing that I love myself, how can I use that to help me solve the problem or the pain that I have? Is the question understood? I will repeat that. I asked you guys yesterday that God puts pains in our hearts for a reason, yeah? That is one way you find out the passion, really, why you're here on earth, yeah? Is your pain. And now we talked about loving yourself, which we're sure that we know we love ourselves because God loves us, which is, but you guys have different points on that, yeah? So, I know I have pain for poverty. Whenever I see poor people, it breaks my heart. I have this pain. That's one. Two, I know that I love myself. I'm sure, perfectly sure that God loves me. That is why I love myself. And also, I've accepted myself the way I am. Is that true? Yes. So the next stage now is, how can I use my pain, or how can I, okay, I love myself and I have this pain. So now what? How can I put the two together? How can I put it together to make it into something? Because it's not enough that I love myself and I have this pain. But then how can I connect these two? Like, yes. Please, who has the mic? Who is Victoria? You are Victoria, yes. Please, can you?
I think it would help, like, going back to the scriptures, is love your neighbor as yourself.
Okay.
So I think once you can accept yourself and who you are, you're more aware of the needs of other people. Because I think when we see all the flaws in ourselves, we're focusing all our attention on ourselves. But once we kind of realize that I'm here for other people instead of trying to please myself and make myself feel good, although that's important. Once we accept who we are as we are and love who God has made us to be, we're more able to reflect that love onto other people who might need that, and then that would help you like reach people who
I love what you said. Very, 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 very strong point. You should know you are not here for yourself. Yeah? I'm not here. God didn't put me here for me. I will repeat that. God did not put me here for me. You could write that down. God did not put me on earth for me. God did not bring me to the family I am for my parents. That's not the point. God did not put me here on earth for me. Let's repeat that together. God, again, God did not put me on earth. Again, God did not put me on earth. Yeah, He didn't put you here on earth for you. Not even for your parents. He put you here for Himself. And because He has something for you. He has an assignment for you to do. And that assignment, as she said, is to serve others. That is one. Two, is to help solve problems. I hope you're writing this down. Yeah? And how will I know that what problem am I supposed to solve? How am I supposed to do that? How can I find that out? Understanding your pain, which means we all have different pains, yeah? When I say pain, I don't mean the bad pain. I don't mean the pain, physical, and, yeah. Huh? A burden. Okay, let's go with the word burden. That makes it easy, yeah? So we all have burdens. And they don't happen to be our burdens by chance, because different people, different topics gets them interested, yeah? So let's try to find out what these burdens are for everybody. I think I'm interested in doing that. Let's start from Daniel, maybe. Yes, please. If you don't know your burden, we could move on, but I believe everybody should find out what his burden is. Okay.
I think my burden is like seeing people mistreated against their will, especially like really young, like children and girls especially, when they're like being abused or just like how you see like all like the statistics of like how many like people are being like trafficked against their will and stuff. That just like it really gets me upset seeing how people are being used for other people's gain, and their own like who they are isn't being considered, and they're not even like seen as humans anymore. So that just like really bothers me a lot.
Okay, cool. Please put that in writing, please. Thank you. Next.
I think my burden is kind of like hers because, well, mine is similar to hers, but for me it's kind of like racism and stuff. Like I recently saw a video of this guy who was, I think maybe he stole something, and then a policeman came. The guy was black, and the policeman came, and he basically strangled him to death.
What?
Yeah, in the store, and there was a guy standing there, and no one did anything, and it just really like, it got to me. I didn't really, so I just injustice against other like races, because I don't think he deserved it at all. Like he didn't. At first I thought he was just trying to make him unconscious or something because he was fighting back.
Yeah.
Because he was running away. Because
Yeah.
obviously he didn't really want to get arrested, but the fact that when I found out that he was actually dead, I was just, I can't. I don't like seeing that. It just gets to me. So.
Yeah. Awesome. So I hope you have that in writing.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, please do. Thank you. Next.
I'm not like really like clear about mine, but I have like a general idea. It's like how.
Okay, let me help you guys to think more wider. If you have the chance to solve, let me put it in another way. What is the one thing you want to change in the world? One thing you want to change? Yeah. That's another way of knowing your burden, yeah? There has to be something you want to change. Yeah? Or as Zoe once asked me for a very long time, I'm sure she doesn't even remember. She asked me one time that, what is it today I can die for? What are you ready to die for right now? Yeah. And Zoe, by the way, I think you asked me that question, was it 3-4 years ago? I couldn't even answer the question. But funny enough, just like 2 weeks ago, or is it the last week, it just got to me clearly that this is what I'm ready to die for right now. So maybe as we're sharing, you could think about that as well. What is the one thing you want to change today in the world? Or what is one thing you know you want to die for? Or what is the most thing that burdens you, that gets to you, that is pain for you, that you want to do something about it? Is that understood? I'm giving you clues so you could help to broaden your answer. Okay, moving on. Are you? Or you want to think more? No. Okay.
One thing that kind of gets to me is like how people tend to follow certain stereotypes and culture stereotypes, and it's like if everyone's trying to fit in a certain way and they're trying to follow a certain like what people tell them to do, and they just like think that that's right because everyone else is doing it. It's like, it just really annoys me, and it's just like, well, why would you do that when you can just like do something else and be different and just like.
Okay, so write down please. Yes. Next.
I would say my burden is seeing history repeat itself, like Abiola said, with racism, especially in America and recently in England as well, with people just getting shot and stabbed for no matterable reason because of the color of your skin. There's no point of going back to the history that we were supposed to learn from our history in order to make the future brighter, and people just like sit around constantly complaining about the world, the government not doing anything, whilst themselves are not taking action in order to stand for their right and just constantly do nothing about it. So, and also Christians as well, because Christianity isn't really a religion, it's a way of life. And so as Christians, we're not just sit down and always rely on God. We as Christians as well, we're supposed to do our part. Fair enough, God does most of it, but at the same time, we need to work hard in order to do things as well, because most Christians now, they just sit down and pray, saying, oh, God will take charge and all that stuff, and just join the crowd and complaining constantly about what's going on in the world, instead of actually doing something and preaching the gospel to other people so they know more about God's word. And yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Next. And you have that right written there. Okay.
People's opinion of themselves. Like, there's so much hate in the world, and you can get it any way, from people personally or from the internet, you can get. And there's so many people who believe anything about themselves or about others, and I don't like it when a simple thing, a single word can like break down a person because they have no respect for themselves and they have no love for themselves, no value for themselves. And it's like this one person can get a whole essay of insults and stand strong, while this other person who's done nothing wrong can just be manipulated by others and be used by others because one person said something bad about him and he believed it, and now he thinks he has to change that about himself, when he shouldn't be dependent on other people's opinion to know their own self-worth. So the thing that bothers me most is like how people fall so quickly to such simple things. So self-worth, that's what.
Okay, cool. So we have that written down?
So I'm also not very clear on my burden, but I guess that it would be really, really cool if just somehow in the whole world you could just make people understand each other and like change their priorities a little bit, I guess, because there's just so many cultures in the world today that are so wrong, and even though everybody thinks in his own way, in the end there's some prevalent characteristics of the world culture that leads to conflict all over the world. And it's not just like conflict like wars, just like even in a town, maybe there's the culture that only fight for yourself. And yeah, that's a really popular culture, that you're only living for yourself in this world, so try and beat everybody else down so that you can get up. And people live like that. And even if they don't want, and even though people live without a goal in life sometimes, still they think they're only living for themselves. So they'll still live and just try to shut everybody else off, and they'll just, everywhere they'll go, they'll be causing pain. And people just don't know how to relate to each other, and they just keep hurting each other, and they don't know anything about each other, and they just live like that. And I don't think that's okay. I think there should be just that there should be opportunities for people to reach out to each other and to be forced to face each other, because we're all probably supposed to do more in this world. We're not just supposed to be sitting in our own close community and thinking only about ourselves and hating everybody else. I don't think that's right. So if I could just change that mentality, then I'm sure we could have a more bright future where it's not just each person looking forward about, okay, what will I have? Where's my money? Where's my thing? Where's my something? Oh, somebody is standing in front of me, push him out of the way, and everybody's walking like that and nobody's getting anywhere. If we could just like work together and everybody could understand that each person was a human, and that no matter how they look, they had so much to provide for each other. And if just at least a little bit, that mentality was just a little bit more prevalent, but it's not.
Okay.
So. want to change that mindset.
Okay, can you at least try to simplify it and put it in writing? Yeah, so we can have it clearly. Okay, guys, unfortunately we have to continue this later on because I want you guys to take 5-minute break, and then we'll have Pastor Borsa. That will be our next section. So you could stand up, stretch, take tea, I don't know, just move around for 5 minutes. So we'll continue in the next 5 minutes.